Now we're told that Dan does an experiment to find the value of pi, right? He measures the circumference and the diameter of the circle. He measures the circumference C as 170 millimeters to the nearest millimeter, right? That's like the nearest unit. Now he measures the diameter D as 54 millimeter to the nearest millimeter. Now Dan uses pi equal to C over D to find the value of pi. Calculate the upper bound and the lower bound for Dan's value of pi. Okay, now first of all, let's establish our upper and lower bounds for C and D. So we have for C, let's say that we'll have something here, right? C, we have 170 millimeters. 170 millimeters. Now, since it was estimated to the nearest 1 meter, was estimated to the nearest millimeter rather, or to the nearest unit, that's 1, right? We're going to divide that 1 by 2, 0.5. Okay, now to get the upper bound of this, we'll add 0.5 to this, that's 170.5, and to get the lower bound of that, we'll subtract 0.5 from it, and that's 169.5. Now these are the lower and upper bounds for C. Now for D, we're going to do the same thing. For D we have 54 millimeters, and it was the nearest millimeter, so 1 unit is nearest 1 unit. 1 divided by 2, that's 0.5. So we'll add 0.5 here to have 54.5, and then we'll subtract 0.5 from here to have 53.5. These are lower bound and these are upper bound. Now going back to our value of pi now. They said our pi is C over D, right? Now, having this pi as C over D, for our upper bound value, of pi, right? For our upper bound value of pi, now what we're going to do is that we'll take the upper bound value of C and divide by the lower bound value of D, right? So upper bound value of C is 170.5 over that's upper bound value of C, right? Divided by the lower bound value of D, 53.5, lower bound value of D. So let's have 170.5 divided by 53.5. So our upper bound value of pi would be 3.187, right? Now for the lower bound value of pi, we're going to take the lower bound value of C, that's 169.5, and divide it with the upper bound value, okay, of D, 54.5. This is lower bound value of C, and this is upper bound value of D. So you have 169.5 divided by 54.5. You have 3.11. That's our lower bound value of pi. Okay? So it's just basically whenever you're dividing, when you have to divide and you have to do with upper and lower bounds, just make sure that for the upper bound value of the division, use upper bound value of the first one, then lower bound value of the denominator. So when you're getting the lower bound value now, you use lower bound value of the numerator and upper bound value of the denominator.